Oh, dang it, Billy. I screwed it up. Okay. Jeez. Let's try it again.
I won't tell anyone.
Here we go.
Episode 10. Bored to death in Studio B. The death of Dan Green. Some people die in car crashes. Some people die in bar fights. Dan Green died of boredom. I got the call just past noon, but Dan had probably been gone since mid-morning, found slumped over an NBC Peacock mug full of cold coffee, an unfinished ham sandwich next to him. Eyes open, mouth half open, no signs of struggle, unless you count the 47 minutes of boring Jeff's monologue still playing on the studio recorder. Jeff was in the hallway when I arrived. Said, "It wasn't murder, I was just telling him about the evolution of Italian steering wheels." I said, "Sure you were. You also hit him with the boring Jeff dance move right before he slumped over. That thing should be classified as a non-lethal weapon." He claimed it was just interpretive movement. I call it vehicular manslaughter with jazz hands. Now Jeff's got 3 moves. The boring Jeff involves slowly rotating in place while talking about carburetors. The Christmas tree, a stiff, upright jig meant to resemble pine-scented air fresheners, and the smokestack, which ends with him puffing into the air like an old train. A man once sprained his cornea just watching it. But none of that was the weird part. No, the weird part was what we found next to Dan Green's cold hand, right beside the page of notes labeled "Possum Story, Part 4, Their Revenge." A piece of paper, typed, centered, unfolded. It read, "A whisper drips in radio halls, where silence waits and boredom sprawls. He spoke of pistons, grease, and grime. The squirrel forgot where it buried its nuts." Yeah, that last line hit like a wrench to the cerebellum. Didn't rhyme, didn't fit, didn't make a lick of sense, unless you know live oak. Because here's the thing, squirrels do forget, and when they do, things get planted. Sometimes trees, sometimes evidence. Now I know the game. I've seen this before. Not the boredom killing, that's new, but the poem. That was signature. We've got a mystery poet on the loose. Someone who rhymes like a professional until they just don't. They leave chaos in couplets and cryptic punchlines. And every time that last line drags the whole thing off a cliff. One time it ended with "My shoes are filled with regret and yogurt." Another time, "That's why bananas shouldn't drive tractors." And now, the squirrel line. It wasn't Jeff. Not entirely. Sure, his voice could crack drywall, but Dan Green? He was tough. He once sat through a 90-minute slideshow of Belgian taillights without blinking. So now I've got 2 suspects. 1, Jeff, the human snooze button. And 2, our old friend, the phantom poet, a.k.a. the live oak lyricist, a.k.a. probably hiding somewhere in a tree trunk with a typewriter and a bad attitude. I'll keep digging. Might have to interview some squirrels. Maybe even shake a few oak limbs to see what falls out. But until then, if and when I ever do run into that guy, our rhyming friend, I'll have a few words for him. Maybe something like this. The mic was hot. The case went cold. Jeff's dance moves should be uncontrolled. The poem's end was full of ruts. I'm not allowed at KSCO anymore. Justice may be blind, but even she gets bored sometimes.